Okay, we should be on again. For the sake of motion, I do want to keep making stuff. Here's another video, not the highest effort thing, maybe not what you wanted, but it's something. I had another interesting time with this game. Real video is coming. Yes, I might spend half of this video too just talking about the video I'm not making. We'll see how we go. Audio, one person told me we were a bit quiet, but I don't know, I listened to how I had this set up a moment ago. Sounds alright to me. So anyway, this should be fine. Here's the setup. Another game of this. I thought this one went interestingly. Here's the other character I play as, Lash, and I just thought a bunch of interesting stuff to show off within this game happened this time, and this is just a way I can fill another, get another video up, keep myself building some momentum. And yeah, again, I found this interesting. Here's me playing as Lash, solo lane. And this is ranked as well. It's just quicker to find a ranked game than regular at this time, so I thought, alright, we'll do this. Ranked, I'm surprised maybe the MMR, matchmaking system got rearranged, but I find myself not getting, kicked around or bullied in here. I do okay. Maybe I'm good at the game, but I don't really think so. I don't really understand MOBA logic too much, but that kind of gets into what I wanted to talk about today, that this game, generally I have good times playing it, and people I'm playing with seem to be having a good time, and I think that's because, a game like League of Legends, the mechanical layer is so, awkwardly a repurposed RTS for one character inputs that there's basically no, inherent joy in controlling a character like that. Nobody's going to just, load up and mess around with an RTS game to control one unit, because that just feels cool and is satisfying in the same way that people will just try to beat Mario 64 quickly or just rocket jump with Soldier from TF2. But yeah, the Source Engine comparison, there's a bit of that innate fun in Deadlock. I always get the name wrong still, even though I've played this game so much. I want to call it Black Rock, Black Watch and stuff. No, it's called Deadlock, I believe. Yeah, it's just, this game, on one hand it's just inherently fun to play because, again, Source Engine, we're bouncing around doing all that kind of interesting stuff. And it's just, on the level of inputs, you can have fun and do decently, only really understanding the fun stuff. You don't have to get into the, mind prison of meta to even be bare minimum playing the game, which I would say is true of things like League of Legends. When I play Deadlock is the title, am I really thinking oh, creep jungle cooldowns, item builds and stuff? No. I didn't even remember which item build I picked. That's a nice thing about this game, you just pick presets and you can go off them, but it just lets you paint by numbers to build up your guy with items. I didn't even remember the build I picked, I was just filling it out because I wanted to focus on jumping around and shooting things. That's kind of the strength of this game. You'll see I do pretty decently as Lash generally, and yeah, I am exercising absolutely zero MOBA brain at the moment. I'm basically playing something like TF2. That's an appeal that is shared with TF2 very much, I think, that in TF2 you can try to meta and think okay, how do we win this round or so on, but you can also just pick the class you like and do that class's thing and have fun, and you will broadly be helping the cause. Maybe not if your team's 7th sniper and you're not very good, but still, if you're shooting in the direction of the enemy team, you're at least playing. And even if you're not, who really cares? It's TF2. This game is kind of a large amount of that. It's that appeal on the mechanical level of just do the fun game stuff, just have fun trying to punch the other guy, and you do that and you're playing 80% of the game, which yeah, that's 80% more than any other MOBA you can do just by basically messing around is the word for it. And yeah, I think this actually turned into a pretty compelling contest here with zero abstract numbers and cooldowns calculating in my head. I'm just in my head playing Super Smash Bros. With this guy. I'm Lash and he's Shiv, the Pompadour guy, and that's an interesting matchup where both weird, bursty, high damage guys who have to do kind of tricky maneuvers. Well, I guess I'm the trickier guy, he's more a weird, fast bruiser type, assassin. I don't know, Lash is kind of like Pocket, where again, yes, and I'm a Pocket he, him truther. Anyway, but yeah, again, Lash is kind of like Pocket in that he's like a weird guy whose moves aren't just like, he doesn't have a big gun that does damage. He's very much like, to really get the most out of him, you have to set things up, and it's very much execution. Like, your items just basically increase the payoff, but if you don't know how to actually land his moves, it won't matter, and it's much more complex than like aim at them and shoot your big laser or magic ball. This game I'm doing a kind of a more reasonable build where I'm actually putting some points and items onto his gun to kind of build Lash in a way where I'm kind of doing all kinds of things, but probably the more interesting and fun way to play Lash is to go all in on his abilities. Everyone has 3 main ones and an ultimate. Lash is weird where one is a stomp, which is like a shockwave that hurts people, and its damage is calculated based on how high he starts it. It throws him to the ground from where he executes it, and you get like a scaling, multiplying damage based on how much distance you've fallen before impact. That's his 1, you hit the 1 key to do that. And his 2 is a rope he throws onto something in front of him, and then he yanks himself into the air up above them. So you see the idea that Lash goes 2-1, 2-1. He yanks himself forward and up so that he's on top of you, and then he hits 1 and goes down, lands down hard on you and does lots of damage. And yeah, that's the thing. And there are just, again, this whole game is built around being able to go up and down and sideways rather than being stuck on a 2D plane, so we're surrounded by buildings, and you'll see later, Lash can actually use that. You don't just have to jump and use your rope to get above people. Like, I could turn around and climb one of these buildings through a back access route and jump all the way off the top of that onto Shiv if I thought I had a killing hit. And there you see the typical 2-1 combo and a parry. That's another thing. This game incorporates hitting people very well, like TF2 does, where it's like it's actually a very viable option at all times. Now a teammate has shown up to help me finish him, and I just land the final shots with the gun. Good job, Mirage, my teammate. And yeah, what happened there was he tried to punch me, and if you time it right, you have a pretty extraordinary... The way it works is interesting. Punches are like devastating in this game. If you land a heavy wound up punch, you will do like half of someone's health bar. But the trade-off is that there is that move I just tried to do again, but he didn't reach me. The parry, where you just put up your arms, and if anyone melees into you while your parry is up, they get stunned for like 2 seconds, which is devastating in this game. You are going to get your ass kicked. And yeah, Lash is all about being airborne. There's his other big air move, his slam, where, well, I guess you saw he suspends himself in midair, so you have to get up there some other way before you start this. And then he locks onto people. He has like 2 seconds to do that. And then once you're done locking on, he pulls everyone from where they are up to him, throws them down into one spot, and that stuns them. And of course what you do is then, because you're in the air and they're on the ground, you hit your 1, and you slam down, and that's the Lash game. It's all about going up and down through various tricks he's got, and other ones you can get from the item store and so on. That's playing Lash. It's very much... like, people say like, oh, positioning and such, it's so important in Dota, but there's nothing visceral or physical about it, which is fun. Like, it's all basically abstract. You might as well be playing Dungeons and Dragons. Your, like, position, there's so little mechanical or physical to it that it might as well just be like a figure on paper. Whereas in this game, to get on top of someone, I actually control a guy who physically flies through the air. It's not like Dota or League of Legends where flight is like an animation my guy does and a like tag in the code that says, okay, now you're in the flying state. Like, no, I actually, like, the game is simulating all kinds of physics and drag and momentum, and if I'm flying, it's because I've actually arranged things in such a way to get myself airborne and try to stay that way. And Lash is a character entirely about just taking advantage of the fact that this game goes up and down in addition to side, and that's why I wanted to show off a game of him, and yeah, that's why I'm always picking him. You have to tag a minimum of 3 characters, but I like priority tag to, I only want to play Pocket and Lash because they're the interesting ones. And yeah, there's Mirage, the teleporting guy next to me, Shiv, the heavy knife guy across from us, and the ugly Puerto Rican goblin in a hat who is flying around somewhere nearby. Funny, sad stuff going on with that goblin. People get ideas. Oh, there they are. I might try to kill them, let's see.
I'm coming, baby.
Oh, that's sad. I missed the lock-on. And I probably apologize to the guys in voice, you lose that in replays. That's another thing I meant to talk about with this game. Ties into some other things. This game is very positive, again, as I was saying, I think largely because it's just physically fun to handle, but also just... That ties into that you are encouraged to talk to people on voice rather than typing because of the pace and how you always need your hand on the keyboard to be doing stuff, I suppose. But that's probably also true of most other MOBAs. Anyway, just the feel of playing with other people, it feels much more cooperative and pleasant, and people just don't really seem to be, even though we're in ranked, in much of a competitive mindset. Like, everyone is in a good mood this whole game. Like, I just said, like, oh shit, I missed my ult lock on, and then it's like, it's all cool, it happens. We're all having a good time, and we're all just having good moments and bad moments, and really, like, we're trying to coordinate and stuff, but things never get, like, pointed at any point in this game, which is just another point where it just becomes very pleasant. I really just think it's amazing. It's an angle from which this game is genuinely worth studying, and just something we don't really talk about with games in general. What do games bring out of people? Are there games which just like make everyone feel good about each other while we're playing them, and games which make people feel shit? And well, I can tell you, I had friends who basically were into League of Legends in high school. I wasn't into the game, but it's just like, alright, I like playing with them, just generally it's fun to hang out on a call sometimes. I'd play with them, and god, they would just get into the most like, foul moods while playing that game. It was just miserable a lot of the time. And yeah, compared to that, this game is like the opposite. Everyone is just feeling good and fun, and there's just this sense of, well, at least we're kind of like messing around, trying stuff, and enjoying bouncing around in Source Engine even if the game isn't going super well. And it's probably also as well just subtle things the game does to be less frustrating, like the zip lines we use so we don't have to walk back to lane, the big walk of shame. And then, I don't know, maybe it's even just that they chose like bright middle of the day colors. It's all like this kind of like sandy brown yellow buildings, and the sun is always out and we've got trees and stuff around. I'm serious, I always found the League of Legends jungle, especially, I played before it got that kind of like weird, washed out, bright, Chinese appealing redo, with like the jungle and stuff was very dark. Maybe that made people more gloomy about the game, I don't know. Could have. Anyway, look at me go, what are my stats right now? 3 kills, 0 deaths, 1 assist. That's not bad at all. Just checking we're still recording, yep. Get this thing back up. Yeah, so this has been a pretty decent game for me. We're in ranked, as you can see, my team is ahead, we're all doing pretty well. I'm ahead of Lash, they only have one person ahead of me, we're doing pretty good. I feel decent, but no one on their team is pissed off either, like no like Lash telling me to go fuck myself in voice chat or anything. I never get mad either, but I will, like, if someone's like, I don't know, trying to test me and the other team, I'll like kill them in a very cheap way and then tell them to eat shit because I'm better. I'll do that, but I'll never feel like vindictive about it. And even then, like, it's very rarely called for because people are generally in a good mood, and even when it gets to that point, I feel like it's mostly sporting, like the other guy's kind of doing the same thing as me, kind of. It's just a fun way to get into things. I never really feel like people are, like, angry. Some people might be now and then. One time when I was Pocket, I laned with a Lash, it was funny. It was like the fastest I ever destroyed tower. We were destroying the other guys, and he was like saying that I should be reported for throwing when we were both like 3 kills each after the laning phase. Just, we weren't killing them hard enough for this guy's liking. That was funny. Pretty sure we won that game, so he had nothing to worry about, but we have to kill them even harder. That guy was a true Lash. But yeah, I'm doing alright. This isn't like peak Lash. I'm not flying around nuking everybody with one-shots. If you build all of the damage into his stomp, you can kind of do that, and it's extremely entertaining. I've had guys like after they've died just like talking all across the game, just like at our team, just like, Lash, what the fuck was that? You did like 1500 damage in one attack. And you can see my health bar there, it's like 15,700. Yeah, like Lash, if he gets built up, could like one-shot this health bar. It's very, very funny. Anyway, where was I? Yes, this game is just extremely positive, and yeah, some games, generally like games which are pseudo-competitive, where it's just like the structure to get people doing stuff, you get that attitude. Team Fortress 2, people don't really get mad, and a comparable game that comes to mind is in Rising Storm 2, I remember everyone was very positive in that game. And in my mind, like, I played that a lot and I enjoyed it. Some people, like, noted that I was, like, pretty decent at it, I'd get a lot of kills, but in my mind it wasn't really a game you won. It's the, like, Vietnam War movie game. You play it because you want to, like, fire the cool Vietnam guns and, like, shout movie quotes at people while shooting them. It's that kind of setup where, like, yeah, honestly, I play Deadlock, but I'm not at the point where I'm, like, getting into it because I want to play a game and, like, gamble my self-esteem on my ability to beat these people. It's, instead, it's a matter of just, like, okay, I like Lash and I like Pocket, and I would, like, play a single-player game which captured this feeling, I think. And we don't have that, but we do have this, so I can just fire it up and play for 20 minutes to an hour and enjoy flying around and jumping on things and doing that. Just hit stuff and it explodes, very fun. And yeah, that's just why I'm there. Like, same thing with Rising Storm 2. Winning or losing, I don't really give a shit. That just exists to, like, give direction to the experience. The experience which is, yeah, like Tarkov, I like virtual guns, firing them in a way that feels cool, just seeing them well modeled and animated and having the cool sounds go off. Rising Storm 2 I played because it has just amazing guns for a video game, and yeah, I didn't give a shit about the rest. And even a game like Tarkov, I kind of play at that game. Am I really trying to win? No, I'll go out with like a handgun or something just because I think it's cool. And in this game, I'll always play Lash, and I'll probably always play Pocket too. Is Lash meta? I don't actually know. I think the meta's changing constantly because of patches. I think Grey Talon is, like, maybe the meta. That's the old Firewater Apache Chief guy, second from the left. He's on our team and he's doing alright. I think he was a bit down on his performance this game. 4 kills, 1 death, 2 assists. He's doing pretty good right now. His name is Kurt Russell, that's funny. What am I doing right now? Oop. I just got Infernus, that's pretty funny. I'm about to get stunned. But yeah, anyway, for me, Deadlock is the Lash game because I like how Lash handles, and yeah, I guess that's a credit to Valve that he's like 1/20th of this game or something like that. I forget how many heroes it has. Several are works in progress right now, but I imagine if you were to talk to different people, they'd all have, like, a lot of people would have someone who's like Lash, what Lash is to me, where it's like, yeah, I just play this game because I like doing this specific thing, which is, again, something that Team Fortress 2 could do, where you just enjoy getting in the zone of just this thing is inherently fun to mess with. Like, some people would only play Sniper, only play Engineer, only play Spy or whatever because those are so fun and completely realized. But yeah, in this game, for me, it's just, you know, I don't only play Sniper, I only play Lash, because I really like this bounce around and jump on people game. I decided not to take that jump. Oh, I'm just losing everyone. Everyone's getting just out of my sight. Let's see, can I save this guy? What happened here? I don't remember. No, I just kind of caught nowhere. Nothing happens. Oh no, there's someone. That guy, he's an electric man with a machine gun. He's kind of fun, he's fine. Oh hey, I stole the kill again. I do remember now I said to these guys at some point, I'm not trying to steal all the kills, it just keeps happening because I'm Lash. Am I about to get another one? Yes, I am. Look at me go, I just do like the last quarter of the damage over and over again. Very funny game. And there's another one for me to steal. Got it. 3 in a row. I'm on a 9 kill streak. This is getting a bit silly. 9 kills, 0 deaths, 2 assists. Mirage is calling someone mad. I don't know what's going on there, never mind. And our Paradox, the silly, like, what do we even call that? Like a lava lamp for a head and a trench coat lady. Yeah, she's doing pretty good too, I suppose. I'm actually not leading on souls, even though I'm just destroying everyone, because I kind of... That's where this game goes, what it becomes an interesting example of. It kind of ties into what I was saying. I like playing this game, I just find Lash fun to, like, in the truest sense, play with. Like, I'm not, like, playing the meta game of Deadlock right now, I'm basically just... I'm playing the Lash game. Ooh, I stole the buff. Sorry, Abrams. Yeah, I'm just playing the Lash game right now, which means, like, I'm looking for opportunities to lash on people, and I don't really know or understand the greater game that well. I mean, I'll try to... It's like with TF2 and Rising Storm 2, I won't, like, throw or completely ignore it. I'll, like, use that to structure what I'm doing, but I only kind of understand what's really good for the team at any given time, and I'm not that motivated to learn more. Like, I understand it's important to have the lanes pushed up to their base so we're safe. I understand that we want to pick fights that are good for us where there's more of us than them so we can get them easy. And I understand that it's important to have more souls than their team, but... Yeah, put all that together and I still don't really know where I should be at any given time. Like, you might have noticed, like, for how long have I just been kind of, like, milling around between lanes looking for a spot to be? Like, my teammates are probably spending more time in important fights because they just have a better sense than me, maybe. I did outright say at one point in this game, just like, sorry guys, I know how to kill people, but, like, I really don't know how MOBAs work very well. And yeah, all my teammates basically said the same thing, like, yeah, I'm trying to learn that, like, I know the characters, I know the fighting, but I kinda, like, not sure about, like, basically how to be in the right spot in the game, like I was saying. But yeah, like, is what I'm doing right now useful? I don't really know, I just thought no one else is here and there's stuff to kill, so my numbers will be going up if nothing else, so it's better than standing still. I can shoot at their team, and if more guys show up, maybe I can kill someone. And here's Grey Talon. Go, Meta Man. Oh, the Puerto Rican goblin, she's moved up too far. And... oh no, she's getting away, she's quick. I did a weird, awkward slide and cancelled my momentum, but shot her.
Don't feel so bad. The world's full of mediocre talent.
I don't know if you heard Lash's line there, but I find him pretty entertaining actually as a character. Pocket is themed around, like, his character is like a runaway heir from a rich family. His theming is all around being skittish, trying to hide, run away. His lines are all like, oh no, I gotta get out of here. Lash, his, like, backstory is that he's a pit fighter or something, and he's got a big ego, so he's just very entertaining to listen to. He's very, like, shamelessly and authentically a dick in a way that I find compelling just because, you know, this is a real human drive and emotion behind his characterization, which isn't, like, flippant. It is something that real people constantly feel very strongly. You know, it's simple pathos, but it's real pathos, and that is more than can be said for, like, 90% of video game characters easy, like 95 if we go Western. Just, like, writing a basic, relatively authentic asshole is, like, more compelling than most games are willing to do. Like, you could almost say, like, Lash is like a subdued rants in his characterization. Like, every line is just like, fuck you, I'm better, you never stood a chance. Which is very funny. And consistent, and it just... yeah, it feels fitting for the kind of game this is. The other thing I'll say is that because he's like a performing, like, fighter, boxer type of guy, he's the only one who really talks like it's a game, which is fitting for what's going on, where, like, he talks about winning and losing rather than, like, life or death, dying, which you know, it's ludonarrative harmony, or whatever you want to call it. Like, you know, consider the circumstances of what we're doing. We're not killing each other, we're people playing a game, and Lash's background is like, you know, a blood sportsman. You know, his place in the world of Deadlock is basically a game guy. You know, it's physical, it's sporting, but still, like, it's a matter of, like, competing to win or lose. So his characterization fits into where we're at quite well. You could say, like, oh, Anthony, fucking sportsman, gamer, completely different things, you fucking autist, how dare you even say that? Ah, shameful, missed my thing, he's too fast. But anyway, do you get where I'm going, where, like, just the, like, characterization of Lash, where he's competitive and, like, everyone else's motivation is, like, oh, well, they're in some, like, in the lore, completely unreflected in the game, they have some, like, life or death struggle behind them, which has brought them into this blood sport to, like, summon some kind of Lovecraftian god to grant them a wish. That is the, like, premise of the game, by the way, and I do kind of like that. Oh, they finally got me. 11 kills, 1 death, 3 assists. Pretty good, Anthony. There I am, I'm waiting to respawn. We can just flip it over to who's good. Paradox is good. Show him who's boss. Yes, the premise here is all of these people are somehow, like, desperate and they need a wish, or they want a wish to get further in life. Lash is the only one here who is a gamer. He has, like, as far as I can tell, he's the only one with nothing dire that he needs. He's just basically in it for the game. He wants to prove that he would be capable of doing it. And so, yeah, it's not like, oh god, I had to do this, sorry, or any lines like that. It's just like, yeah, fuck you, get lashed on. I find that very entertaining. Anyway, I'm about to respawn and lash on some people. And yeah, behind that, when you spawn, you're like flying out on the line, you're like, Lovecraft deity speaks as a voice in your head. One is a man, one is a woman. The lines to Lash are kind of interesting, where they'll say things like, Lash, everyone's gonna know how great you are one day. Where, like, it kind of implies that despite the, like, the simplicity of his motivations compared to everyone else, like, to him it's not frivolous. It's very much like, you know, Lash is a real gamer. This is life or death to him. His ego is on the line. And I just think that that's, yeah, probably the most compelling characterization you could write into something like this. And if it were up to me, probably the whole cast would be just a succession of variations on the Lash characterization, just like people out to prove themselves. Valve kind of run into this problem where you can, through this thing I'll talk about in the other video, I've got to fucking make it now, I keep talking about it. They're trying to go like life or death drama as everybody's backstory, and that really places them in an awkward spot of like how they fit into this forever game setup they've gone with. I think the one who really fits it super well is Lash, and beyond that, it would probably work better as a kind of like Twisted Metal style single player game where like, yeah, it's like a setup like Unreal Tournament where you play bot games or something and then like you win as your chosen character and they get like a cutscene and that's it. Their conflict has to resolve. The only one who really feels like they fit into just a game that never resolves is Lash. And yeah, that's a thought I had a while back. I'm glad I just remembered it now. But like, yeah, Valve, if you want to like work your very compelling drama skills, they probably do have like a tragic backstory written for everyone. If you want to work them into the game, here's my like next billion-dollar idea that I just give you for free, internet. Deadlock, how about this? Like you win 1,000 rounds or whatever, 1,000 games with your chosen champion or hero or whatever they're called. How about you unlock like a Twisted Metal cutscene that shows them getting their wish? I think that'd be a lot of fun. That would be this game's like Meet the Spy or whatever. Only it'd be like Lash gets his wish, Hayes gets her wish, Kelvin gets his wish, and so on. And people would be really interested in that because, yeah, it's just like, these characters all exist as setups, and they all have some kind of like hanging thread to them where, you know, in every case they want something. It's a story about wishes. Oh, look at me go with the big throw in the air. Oh god, that tried to me. I tried, can't blame me. Alright, I got the assists, look at me go. Go Abrams. Now, I was saying, yes, I believe this setup is just... It might just be doomed to hang in the air forever, and I would consider that a shame since obviously Valve did the Valve thing and like overdrafted manpower, which is yeah, it just means they're going to have a lot more work than they use, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I do believe that that is the sole factor in various works, that there is just... It's what I was talking about in one of the Halo videos, excess human capital, basically. When every part of the thing is thought out beyond the bare minimum, there is human life and will full to bursting in the project. There is more than you can see on the surface. You're looking at like the top of the iceberg. That is to their credit every Valve production, but I would argue that they maybe, if anyone does go overboard in monopolizing great manpower and just making projects which are like 90% on the cutting room floor. It would be a shame for Deadlock to end up like that, because from the one leaked internal kind of character piece we have from them, we can see that they really have a very elaborate, like, probably like a novel worth of like worked out material where all these characters have interlocking stories and potential fates in mind that they've workshopped. I think, like, wouldn't it be great if like each character could like resolve, because they're basically written like characters who probably should. Again, like, if it was written to be open-ended, I wouldn't mind that. Not everything needs a resolution. I think if anyone doesn't, it's Lash, another reason why I like him, but everyone else I probably do. You might see me kind of confused here for a minute, all three of us, like, what the fuck was that? Where did Hayes go? We're all kind of typing in chat for a minute now, like, yeah, there's Hayes, just like, huh. Yeah, where'd you end up? Because I just like threw Hayes through a hole in the universe. That is not a like weird Lovecraftian magic Deadlock thing, that is just... Yeah, this game is in alpha, so now and then like something will happen, like Lash will do the ult, I'm about to kill Hayes, and she just like, whoop, the game can't calculate her location and she appears somewhere really far away. She didn't drop out of the map and break the whole server or anything though, so no great disaster.
Let's take out Shiv.
Now yes, I don't need to see a conclusion to the premise of like, this is some kind of magical blood sport and these people are just like athletes basically. But then like most of these characters, they do have like internal bios in the game. Most of them are just like the setup, like the blurb for a short story or like an old or a novel or something. And yeah, it's just repeatedly raises that question in my mind of, okay, where does this go? Do Valve want like every character to be like a setup with no payoff? That's kind of interesting if they do want that. I don't know if it's something I like, but if they were trying to, that'd be something. Or is it just kind of a quirk of how Valve work and how a MOBA, like a long-lasting online multiplayer game works, that they just basically overproduce, overdesign, write a novel worth of stuff and then don't release it just because they don't think they have a perfectly game-matched way to do so. I don't know, but that's maybe a bit of a shame if so. But anyway, back into those internal character bios you can read in the like character gallery screen. Lash has the shortest bio, it's one sentence. It says, Jacob Lash is an asshole. Perfect. Because again, that's really all we need for this kind of game. That doesn't upset me at all. It aligns with how he plays and how he's written and how he like acts when you're playing him well. That you're this guy who's just like bouncing around, styling on people, just kicking their asses for the fun of it. Like, Lash is here for the same reason I'm here. He's like the Far Cry 2 protagonist. We have ludo-narrative harmony. Lash wants to bounce around doing what he enjoys and feels he's pretty good at. He thinks it's funny to be here, he likes to win and show people how good he is. And look at me, that's what I'm doing right now. Why do you think I chose this game to upload? Because I can show you how good I am. 12-6, look at me go. 7 has stunned me. Why aren't you diving into the pit and shooting the bloody final thing, Anthony? Oh well, you're distracting Hayes and getting shot. Good job. And their whole team is respawned. Paradox is down, might be time to leave. Yeah, we had that boss thing like on its knees, but Yeah, this is clearly not happening now. 2 of us are down. It's 4 against 5 where... Yeah, it's time to go. I think in voice someone just said, like, time to go, so I flip back, everyone else starts flipping back. And we're out of here. I'm just kind of... What am I even doing? I'm probably going to go kill some jungle stuff. There we go. You punch that thing, you get more life. Not life, souls. And yeah, that's level ups and money, so it's good to have. Bang. And a little random stat bonus, more health. Very good. And we hit another one. Yet the progression of this game maybe not super interesting. You can see here me kind of hitting the limits of how good I can be at this game. Early game, when it's just like a fighting game almost, you just back and forth, hit people, try to kill them. I know how to do that because I only have to like hold so much stuff in my head. I can just do what's fun and natural bouncing around as Lash, and yeah, that works really well. I get like 10 kills in 20 minutes and carry my team. Then things get more complicated and it's like, okay, now we play this elaborate 6 versus 6 game of like, yeah, just chess or yin. We've got to control this thing, we've got to take over the board. And I don't really know what I'm doing. We're thinking, okay, they're trying to run the urn to catch up in souls. We probably don't want that, so I'll help Mirage kill him. Doesn't even matter. I showed up too late, did the typical thing, got confused and out of place. But here's me taking advantage of 3 dimensions. I go up and see if I can set up a slam. I'm just watching him to make sure he gets it off safe. Very good. Now, do I find anything useful to do here, or am I just kind of stuck? Flying back to base, I suppose. Oh, I have a gajillion souls. Yeah, good idea. Spend those, Anthony.
This helps me keep it interesting.
Actually, on second thought, don't. Go this way. Why not? Good job. All that effort to shoot one thing. Might not look like it, but I'm actually having fun this whole game. We're talking to each other. We're trying to coordinate what the hell's going on. And it's just inherently fun to play a game where you're just bouncing around in a engine which does a very good job of realizing just drag and friction and momentum. It's like playing Mario 64 in that it's just like hitting the spacebar, WASD, just flying around feels fundamentally good to the point I don't really care what else is happening. Again, like, I would play the Lash single-player game, which ends with, like, a twisted metal scene where he gets his wish. Where did she end up going when she did that? I completely lost track of her and just started chasing the other guys. Never mind. But yeah, just, I'm having fun. It's inherently fun on this bouncy fun level, and I think that that factor is the difference between this and League of Legends and why we are not calling each other mean names right now as the game starts turning against us. We're still ahead on souls, but barely, considering the lead we had before. The game does a decent job of, as things advance, like, it becomes very easy to turn things around one way or another. You can very much, like, if you coordinate well, like fighting within your base for advantage, you can kill their whole team and the payout will, like, even you up if you're behind. So you really have to, like, as the game goes on, if you can't close it, it gets easier and easier to turn around, which I don't mind. I think it's probably not that interesting if you can hold a win long term. At that point, it's just like, why not just give them the bloody win then if it's inevitable? But yeah, as you can see, we were ahead, but these guys are still in it, and as the game goes on, they're playing characters who kind of come online and get very, very strong, while I wouldn't say the guys we're playing necessarily fall off, but we have guys who, you know, they only have they don't have, like, crazy potential if they fill out their kit in the same way other guys do. Like the guy in the red hat, the smoky woman, the woman in the hat, the guy with the pompadour, even Electric Man, like 5 out of 6 for them are characters who really, like, if the game just goes on and on, they benefit more than a lot of other characters from just being able to stack more and more items on themselves. And yeah, that's probably really what happens here, that they just get exponentially stronger, and we get stronger too, but like they really like specialize in this later stage of the game.
Nicely done.
Like it took like 4 of us to jump on and kill that guy quickly because he's just so strong. And you can see in the numbers I'm actually towards the back of the pack now. I'm not great at thinking through what to do. These guys who have like way more than me, do they have more kills? No, maybe they're participating in more kills, but probably more it's just they like know where to be getting the payouts and maybe being more useful. 55 kills to 26, we are like destroying these guys on total kills because we were, like when it paid out less, really dominating early game, but these later kills are worth more and they're getting a lot of them. They only need so many. We got the mid-boss, the Roshan, or whatever you want to call him, equivalent of this game. That powers us up a bit. Let's see if we can use that to swing things around. We should if we're not retarded. What am I doing? I'm just pushing a lane, which is broadly useful.
I'm coming, baby.
Yeah, let's see if we can get this guy. Ooh, nice. Kill stolen again. I'm unstoppable. So, me and Paradox is a bit of a power game of 46,000 souls. What are we doing here? I suppose we're trying to break through and get him. I think my mouse flips out here a little bit. I just kind of dive into a wall, but there we go, we're back on track. And oh shit, what's going on? Just trying to disrupt them. You know what might have completely screwed us there in retrospect? But like the moment my ultimate that catches them goes off, Hayes, their most dangerous player, happens to be like just under that little like bridgeway so she doesn't get pulled into the air. And she just spews out damage because she's late game Hayes and kills like 3 of my teammates. If she was like a meter out of place, I would have caught her as well, and that might have been the game. But we missed it. We have the mid-boss thing, so we respawn quickly, but yeah, that could have been a GG, but she just spat out crazy damage. I was almost dead, so I went back to heal. Maybe that was the move. I don't think I had the damage to take out the final boss, so I just heal up fully inside her. I'm gonna come back in ready to really kick ass and hopefully kill Hayes. I got Wraith pretty handily there, but yeah, in all this mess I can't tell who I'm attacking. There's Wraith. Get her, but she's so close to that thing she can heal. And where are my teammates? Apparently they killed Abrams while I wasn't paying attention, so yeah, I'm just trying to like help the team's situation kill these so my minions can push in, but yeah, I don't know, like someone who knows the game well might be able to say like, oh, the meta move to do here was to do so and so, but yeah, as I keep saying, I don't really understand the game on that level. I'm just kind of trying to do stuff at any given moment. Just be doing something is better than nothing. And yeah, I did a lot of damage to different things there, but ultimately they got through and got me. I'll be back in 20 seconds though, because I had a rejuvenator and I should buy items because I have that much currency. What are you doing, Abrams? He's a fun character. He's waiting in shop. Good job. What are you doing? See, he is a useful guy. He's killing like neutral minions because the lanes are pushed. I do that like twice in this whole game. I'm not really attentive. He's getting another one. He's just paying so much attention to the state of the board. Good job. See, this is why he has 41k souls without having to kill like 25 people. The game is pretty generous to people who aren't like damage carries and being able to really power up and be useful. Okay, where am I now? Okay, I'm also here. There's Kelvin. I just lash myself into a ceiling, and I use an item to fly. Can we get this guy, or has he just got too much health now? Oh shit, the whole team is here. I got silenced. Oh, I remember now. I didn't say because it would have been like a dick move, but if you couldn't tell, the ice guy brought up his like ice dome superpower there right underneath me when I tried to do my grab everyone below me move, and what happened was my like interception grabbing thing got cut off by his dome, so basically his ult cancelled my one, which is very sad. This fight could have maybe gone a lot better for us if I was able to like just intercept and badly hurt all of them at once. Here I just dive into them to do damage, activate this item I bought, metal skin, so I don't take damage for a couple of seconds, and yeah, I don't know if that was useful. Again, it's late game, I'm kind of floundering. Just jump on their whole team, do damage, get out, get my cooldowns back, jump in, do it again. That's the plan. And yeah, now we were in their base hurting their stuff, now they're in ours doing mine. I'm just trying to get above them, grab 4 people, throw them, do that. One's dead. I get stunned. I'm getting hit by like 4 ultimates at once. Can I make it out? Ooh, I do. I'm just that good. 3 of them dead. I don't remember doing that, so that's not bad. But as you'll see, they've really got the momentum now, and it's just hard to turn things around this much. Haze just got away. They're just very quick. I don't have the damage to kill them all at once because I'm built more sanely and evenly. If I were all in on the one-shot damage, maybe that could be another video if I just want to waste your time with these easy uploads which don't tax me a lot. Maybe I could show you a game of one-shot Lash just to show you the power of jumping on people's heads and one-shotting them as this guy. It's very funny and it's a very unique thing you can do in this game, just a unique appeal. It's that kind of icy calm factor. It's made more entertaining by knowing that somewhere there's a guy who just like, he's playing the game, he's having fun, and then I appear from like just out of nowhere and he explodes. That's a very funny thought, which does make it more entertaining. It wouldn't be the same if I was playing the single-player Lash game and doing that to NPCs. But yeah, it's the social game, so to me it's kind of like, I don't really see it as like a dominating thing, it's more like, it's like landing a crit rocket in Team Fortress 2. It's just like a really funny, silly thing that can happen, and this game is all just about that kind of like silly reactivity and entertainment and just how good it feels to do stuff. It's a giant pile of just fun, optimized, worked out systems that feel good to mess with, and the game part is just like a minimum necessary contrivance to enjoy the, you know, mechanical part rather than the other way around, I would actually go as far as to say. Pardon me, but that's just the like last serious thought I have for you this video, that yeah, some multiplayer games it seems like an obvious distinction. Some are made with the idea that you are basically, ooh, he got me while I was trying to ult. Some are made with the understanding that basically there is this competitive game people are trying to take seriously and win, and we have this kind of understanding that the game is built around, you know, a competition. And then there are games where like a competition is used as like a frame for just like parts which it's fun to mess with, and I've kind of said before in relation to things like shooters and strategy games that this confusion really broke a lot of different things trying to like take one for the other. Like take an old shooter like Battlefield 1942 or whatever year it was. Was that game made to be like competed in, or is the like, yeah, GG guys, they got us. Yeah, we were talking in voice this whole time, you don't get that in the replay, but we were all feeling very good, it was a fun time. But yeah, just let me finish this last thought. Here's our stats, by the way, look at me, most kills. Obviously, Battlefield 1942, it's structured as games, tickets, points, winning and losing, but that's not really the point. It's not to make something that people can win or lose, and people weren't primarily playing it to win or lose. The point was to simulate on some level, more on the level of fun and cool than simulation, all of this interesting stuff people like about World War II. And in the same way, Team Fortress 2 is about enjoying Valve's engine, the way these things they've made handle, and it's structured within framed by games which are fun as far as we can take them seriously as games, but, you know, that's not the point. And Rising Storm 2, another example. And in my mind, you know, I do try to play pretty much every game like that, but in my mind, maybe it's just because it's early days, but I think that Deadlock is a game which really has both elements working for it quite well, and it could ultimately become like the Team Fortress 2 of MOBAs, where you know, it's a game with winning and losing, but people play it just because it's really fun to be Lash and fly around, or Grey Talon and like glide through the air shooting arrows, or Abrams to run around punching people, Hayes to be Reaper from Overwatch and fire guns in every direction and so on, this guy to catch on fire and run around really fast, her to fly a big machine gun, this guy knifing people, whatever. People, I would hope, will play it for the fun of that rather than the idea of winning or losing a game. I lost this, but do I sound like I really feel like I lost? I mean, yeah, I won on kills, but more than that, I just got to play as this Lash guy for an hour and I found that fun. So I had a good time, and that's what I think about this game. And yeah, it has graphs if you find these interesting. Lane graphs. And we got souls by source. I got them from troopers, some from kills, barely any neutrals. Who got all the neutrals on our team? Everyone else. Look at how many neutrals this guy got. I suppose that is actually how they were mainly tearing ahead of me. Just they were getting the jungle and I wasn't. Look how I was ignoring it. You can see things about the game from what's going on here. Damage breakdown, damage to troopers, to players, to objectives, souls per minute, by player. Here's a fun stat. Who was getting the most here? Where am I in all that? I'm near the bottom. Not doing too bad, but you can see that their guys are really powering up towards the end. Anyway, that's just more of just showing off this game for the sake of having a video up, but maybe it got some interesting thoughts out of me. I hope this recorded okay, and pester me in the comments to make a real video now. Thank you.